Hey guys, in this video we are taking a trip down Route 66, so stay tuned and enjoy the video. Well, as usual, we got off to a slow start. While driving down the highway, the battery light turned on and we started losing power in the Dodge Journey. We were able to only do 30 miles an hour at one point, but we eventually made it to a Walmart. I put a new battery in, but we didn't make it too far. This time we made it to AutoZone, where I was able to install a new alternator. Guys, we finally made it to Chicago. Because we were set back by a few hours, it was a bit dark, and in spots traffic was rough, but our goal was to make to the beginning of Route 66. Alright guys, so we're here at the Lambert 1957. Come to find out, it's the longest running gas station / convenient on Route 66. Chicago, the traffic was kind of wild, so we ended up just kind of flying through there. But this is our first start, and hope you guys enjoy. Oh, and also, if you come here, they give you free popcorn. Well guys, we ended up driving a little through the night. We just found this rest area to sleep at. Now it's time to hit the road again. This spot here is called Dead Man's Curve. It is only 18 feet wide and is part of original Route 66. It was given that name due to many accidents. It was built before the 1940s 4-lane bypass. Alright guys, so we're back on the road. We just stopped at our first, well not first, but first destination for today. And it's this old train station, so check it out. McLean Depot is a hobby shop specializing in railroading. It is currently closed because of it being Sunday. Guys, this here is pretty cool. This is the first paved road to connect Chicago, St. Louis in 1926. Timmy and Matthew took their turns driving on it. Just came across this little town, which is pretty neat. There's this place called Doc's just off 66. It used to be a drugstore back in 1884. In 2007 it became Doc's. We decided to stop in and get ourselves some ice cream and milkshakes. I would highly recommend going there if you are given the opportunity. I will definitely be going again. So we decided to stop at this old filling station, and you're allowed to come in. So here we are in, just kind of looking at the stuff, and I could tell you it has that antique-y smell in this building, and it just smells fantastic. We noticed that people leave a sticker on the windows, so we left a sticker of ourselves. This next place we spotted is Pink Elephant Antique Mall. There are a bunch of large sculptures from other businesses that have been forgotten. There is an ice cream shop, a fudge and candy shop, and huge antique shop with a lot to look at. That is another place I would recommend taking a look at. We are almost in Missouri. Now that we are in Missouri, we are stopping off to cook some dinner before it gets too dark out. We found a park. Well, we thought it was a park. We just set the grill on a big stone and just hung out.
We're stupid. I'm gonna find a flat rock and skip it. I don't know if I got that on film.
We then found a rest area and stopped for the night. We are now in Springfield, Missouri. This blue building is the Woodruff Building. This is where there was a negotiation which led to US 60 becoming US 66. We spotted this cool piece of art. It showed the stretch of Route 66. It was pretty cool. This spot is pretty cool. This is where Wild Bill in 1865 confronted Davis Tutt, which later that evening led to a duel, the nation's first one-on-one quick draw. We made a quick stop at this small town just to stretch our legs for a minute. It worked out because we had to mail something out, so we went to their post office. It was actually built as a bank back in 1915. We are headed to where Missouri, Kansas, and Oklahoma meet, then we are off to Kansas.
Alright, we're going to see how fast we could get this football in 3 different states right now. It would have been faster if they were quicker, but we got it done pretty fast.
The truck that's parked next to the building, we call him Toe Tater. He's the actual inspiration for Toe Mater. Michael Wallace of the Cars, he actually wrote the book The Mother Road, was called by John Lasseter of Cars and asked if he would, John Lasseter of Pixar, asked if he would show his animators what 66 was about. Michael said certainly. So he met 3 Cadillacs full of animators in Chicago and they took the entire route. Well, when they got to Kansas, Joe Raft, who was head of story for Monsters Inc., Toy Story, Bugs Life, Cars, he saw our truck parked against this building over here with a tree grown up through the boot. So our truck is a 1951 Harvest International. Anyway, so Joe saw the truck. Michael came up behind and said, "Man, that truck's got character, don't it, Joe?" He said, "It sure does." So he made that truck Toe Mater. Now, unfortunately, Joe died before the movie came out, so the whole movie is dedicated to Joe Raft. So if you see at the end, you'll see where he was the voice of other characters, like he was the Squeaky Penguin in Toy Story, he was the Caterpillar in Bugs Life, and in Cars, he was Red the Fire Truck. So now you know why Red never talks, he's always quiet, because they kept him signing up for Joe. And then this guy right here, this is Dean Walker, we call him Crazy Legs. If you see his feet, he can turn his feet completely backwards. So Michael asked Dean to meet him on the Rainbow Bridge and show him that he could turn his feet backwards. So Dean's the reason why Mater drives better backwards than he does forward. And then the building across the street used to be a White Rose gas station. It pumps right on the sidewalk. Well, this is what's on the north side of that building. We call it ghost riding. And this is what it inspired in the movie Cars. This is where Mater's telling Lightning he owes him attorney fees, like $32,000. And that's pretty much our story.
Kansas had some cool attractions, and their influence on the Cars movie was pretty interesting. Kansas has the shortest run on Route 66 with only 13.2 miles. So now we are off to Oklahoma.
Alright guys, so we just made it to Oklahoma. We figured we could have dinner. And so what we got here is we got some canned chicken, some Spanish rice, some salsa, some spices, some corn, and some black beans. And so it should be done here shortly. We're just kind of letting it cook a bit. We did end up having to buy a pot and some cookware. We did make it to Oklahoma also, and we found this park here. It is currently flooded, but so we just figured we'd use this time to eat dinner.
After driving for a while, we were looking for a motel to sleep at. While we were doing that, we spotted this 1963 Rambler. It's pretty cool and actually pretty solid. After finding somewhere to sleep for the night, we got back on the road. And we just had to stop at the Blue Whale. It was built between 1970 and 1972. It was a park and a small zoo. After being abandoned for a while, it was refurbished in 2010. It is a cool place. It has the history of the place and how it came to be on the outside walls of the building. And just so you know, the walls are see-through. This is pretty cool. This place is the Route 66 Historical Village. It is the site of the first oil strike back in 1901. It made Tulsa the oil capital of the world. Now we are heading to visit Farm Truck and Asian. They have recently opened a museum. There is a lot to look at. They are always fun to hang out with. I would recommend visiting them if you are ever in the area. We ended up locking the keys in the trunk. Thankfully, Farm Truck was able to lend a hand. After spending some time with Farm Truck and Asian, we hit the road. We ended up in Texas kind of late, but that didn't stop us from seeing some cool cars, especially one of my favorites, a 1959 Edsel. After admiring the cars for a minute, we went to find a rest area. The rest area we stayed at was very nice. The scenery was just beautiful. It has been very nice getting to see how beautiful America is. After hopping back on the road, it didn't take too long before we had to stop and look at more cars. We spotted a 1958, 1959, and a 1960 Edsel. Well guys, we ended up in McLean, Texas. This was one of our favorite stops. We spent a lot of time here. It was like one of the scenes in Cars where people just pass the town by. This museum was great. It was run by an elderly lady. She told us how the land was donated by a wealthy man so that the town could be built, which allowed a train to stop in that area. He lived in England but would travel by boat to America. This is because he was a rancher. He later died on the Titanic. The town is so small that the graduating classes tend to be around 13 people. She said that thing really slowed down by the 80s, and by the 2000s, they don't even have a grocery store. So they have to go 30 minutes to the next town to buy groceries. It truly was an awesome stop. This was the first Phillips station in Texas. It was built in 1929. It remained operational through 1977. Our next stop is called Cross of Our Savior Jesus Christ. It stands 195 feet tall and is the tallest freestanding cross in the Northern Hemisphere. What is cool about this is that it has different stations that show what Jesus had faced up to his crucifixion. The attention to detail on the statues was really impressive. It definitely helped bring to life what Jesus had faced at that time. It was an amazing thing to see. After that, we decided to stop and get something to eat. We decided on Buc-ee's. Their food was actually not too bad. After eating, we headed towards Slugbug Ranch, and we painted on some cars. This only meant that our next stop had to be Cadillac Ranch, so that is where we headed. You can't have a Route 66 trip without visiting Cadillac Ranch. It is definitely one of our bucket list items. I have never seen paint so thick in my life. It was such a blast. Everyone had taken their turn painting. We even took little pieces of paint to bring home. We have now made it to the halfway point of Route 66. Let's keep plugging along. Everything was going well until this storm showed up and GPS decided to take us on a little detour to the middle of nowhere. What should have taken about a half an hour is now looking like a couple of hours. We definitely have to figure out what we are going to do I guess we'll see what happens.
Don't get in where it slams into your car down.
There's an animal.
Yeah. Alright guys, so I'm going to end this video here. We're kind of lost in the middle of nowhere. We're on a dirt road, like literal dirt road, and there's times when we're driving and there's cows next to us, and so if you know where we're at and you ever want to come looking for us, you know, but now we're just going to keep driving that way. Hopefully we could find actual road, but I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to like, subscribe, leave a comment, and as always, I hope you enjoyed the cruise down Delashman Road.